the Olympic year, so we had to trouble you. And by troubling you, I want to ask first you, sir, PV Sindhu, much followed and very, very a lot of hopes are anchored and pinned on her for a badminton medal. How's it been like for the? How many months has it been, and how's it been like training?
Well, I think it's been close to 4 or 5 months now since
Yeah.
September.
Yes.
She's been here because even though she's been playing a few tournaments in between, and even after that, I think once she had an injury, she spent some time in Hyderabad doing her rehab. So actually, we probably got about a month in Bangalore. For about 10 days before the Asiad, and maybe another 10 days, 2 weeks now. And of course, she'll be here till middle of Feb. And then, of course, go for the first tournament, and then she'll keep coming back. So it's been very nice working with her. It's been an absolute pleasure. She's a very good student, very disciplined, very dedicated, willing to listen, despite having won 5 World Championship medals and 2 Olympic medals. She still feels she's in the first standard, willing to listen not just to me but to anybody. I think that's the hallmark of a champion.
She's open to ideas.
Yes, very open to ideas, not just on the court, in the gym. So I think it's been great working with her. So basically, what we've tried to do is put a professional team together, and I'm more like mentoring her, on a day-to-day basis. More of strategy and tactics. That is my area of expertise. So we have a Indonesian coach, Agus, right now, who's been here for the last 10 days. He's come here from the 1st of January. But otherwise, we put together a team. So my job is to coordinate.
So, sir, when you say yours is to strategize and fine-tune what needs to be done against every opponent, how different is it from your previous roles?
No, that time, previous role was maybe 5-10 years back. I had to be actually on the court also, actually make the players do. So that the Indonesian coach is doing now. I'm too old to be on the court. So
No, but sir also plays at times. He's
being
no, I'll stand in one place and play. But otherwise, generally we've been in touch. I think with the tech advancing so much,
technology.
even on a daily basis, even when she was doing rehab, every day, even if it was standing strokes, so she would send me every day, what she was doing, and I could see what she was doing, and I would, if I found something could be better, then I would tell her to try something new, or try this or try that. If it works, it's fine. If it doesn't work, basically, the idea is, my way of teaching is, the player is the ultimate authority. So coach is there to guide, to help. So the player has to be convinced. You have to, they have to have a game plan. They need to analyze. They need to, be convinced of why they are playing a particular stroke. So these were the things which were probably very common in the 80s, and when we were young, we came up. So because the emphasis was not so much on physical parameters, smash, hit, and so if what I'm trying to do is combine the advantages of both, because when we played, there were some advantages, some strong points, and now, of course, it's a totally different ball game. So trying to see if we can match both, take the strengths of that time and the present generation and combine, so that you create a style of your own. You be something different from what everybody else is doing, and not just use of intelligence, use of deception, use of wrist, good footwork. So these are the things and we are good at. Indians are naturally good at that. So very easy to to convince. And if the player tries to understand over a period of time, why they are playing a particular stroke. So there is always a game plan.
There is always the issue of player intelligence also.
Yes.
So how does, in her case, how does it work out?
No, it's there. We're trying to see if it can be better. Otherwise she won't have won so many times. So the player intelligence is always there. But it's never like whether it is Roger Federer or Djokovic or Nadal, whoever it is, they're always trying to get better. So
Sir, I'll ask you also this question. I'll ask Sindhu also this question. But first to Sindhu. Sindhu, how desperate or hungry are you for that elusive gold medal?
Of course, I am desperate. I'm sure everybody is desperate to get that goal. But I think to get there, we'll have to do what we have to do. And it's important that we get everything right, everything perfect. And it's not just me, like, the whole team. When I say the whole team, the trainer, the physio, obviously the coach and sir has been telling me what needs to be done. But from my side as well, I need to put my efforts as well. You can't think that everybody is doing everything and I just sit and listen to what they say. But even from my side, I need to, push myself and implement what they say. So,
yeah,
Why
exactly.
is it the fact that it's proving elusive is too much on her mind, or how is it?
No, I think she was just coming out of injury for some time, and I think maybe she uh, rushed a little bit, maybe 1 or 2 months earlier. Maybe she was not fully fit, and we've done some tests, and we've used a lot of science. I think that is probably one of the major differences
yes.
between what she was doing earlier
Earlier
and
and now.
what we are doing now. So earlier, without doing anything, she was winning titles. I think the problem started when she started losing. When she was not, let's not losing, but when she was not able to do as well as she was doing, then she didn't know where to start. What was going wrong. So then that is when we came in and said, we should use, are you doing this? Are you doing this? Are you consulting? Are you doing a video analysis? Are you doing, are you consulting a nutritionist? Are you taking the help of a mind trainer? Are you doing any physical tests? So she was doing, but it was not on a very regular basis. Now it's a very structured, a very strong team has come in from the Olympic Gold Quest. OGQ, the OGQ trainer is there, OGQ physio is there, monitoring on a daily basis. Every day, what she eats is being reported, and whether her weight, whether it is her sleep, whether it is her recovery, whether it is. So we are trying to do our best, and my advice would be, for Sindhu is not to think too much about winning a gold. Like, it is important, but the focus is more on the process in the in preparation. Do your preparations well, and treat it like any other tournament. Because if you just keep thinking, I have to win, I have to win, then I think that will put too much pressure on the.
True.
So, what kind of award is she?
I think I already told you. Very receptive to new ideas, and quickly very happy. I'm also very excited because it's not very often you get somebody like this, a student like this, who's not a student, a player like this, who's already achieved so much. So it's very easy to, when I tell her something the next day or
She'll
immediately,
understand,
she's
yeah.
able to. Whereas if it was some other youngsters who are just coming up,
Then
they
you have
need
to
to
show it.
develop,
Yes,
show, they have to develop, it takes time. Here I think it's just question of 1 or 2 days. Because she's already got that stroke, just a question of using it at the right time and maybe making it even sharper and more accurate.
Sindhu, when you decided to shift base,
Yeah.
it was a huge decision. Uh, how difficult or easy was it?
It was not difficult, I would say, but of course, when I was playing my US Canada back then, and it was nothing was going right, and I felt what was happening. I was really
What was
confused.
that phase like?
I mean, you are playing, but it's nothing is going right. So it was like I am doing everything, but I think there needs to be some change or the other. So, but I think Prakash sir was very kind enough to. I've known Prakash sir for a very long time, but I've met him a couple of times. But I think around July, August, that's when I spoke to Prakash sir and.
Last year.
We thought, okay, let's try. And I was very happy, of course. It's a one time opportunity. Not everybody will get that opportunity to, as a mentor, he came forward and I was very happy that, I will be training
Were you
under him.
prepared for all the difficulties, or
I would not say difficulties. I would not say difficulties, but I was. Definitely, I thought there will be a change. And I mean, there should be a change every time. It can't be the same thing every time because nowadays, everything is changing. Like, yeah, every moment, everything is changing. So I thought It is a change, and let's see. And it is working out really well, and I'm really happy. The whole
Mentally, you're in a good space.
yes, yes. Mentally, I'm
I think
in a very good
that's the
space.
key. Like if you're physically fit, mentally fit, game will automatically follow. I think her problem earlier, that stage was she was in a confused state of mind. She really
The
didn't know
cobwebs are
what game
cleared
plan to, whether to attack, whether to, so nobody to really guide her,
all the time.
properly. She had everything, just that change of coach sometimes,
It's
can
refreshing.
happen. Yeah,
Yes.
it does affect for anybody, not just for her. So I think she was going through that phase, and then the injury came,
Yeah,
and then so I think a lot of factors put together, and then when you don't get the results, and I mean your expectations are so high, and like every tournament you play, you have to win. People expect you to win because you've raised the bar. Even if you reach in the quarterfinal, semi-final,
You will
people
say
say,
where
"Oh,
is
she's not
the
doing well."
title? Yes.
Yeah,
yeah.
her form is going down. So the bar is raised. So I think it was just a question of having a clarity of thought.
So on your
So just
comeback trail, Sindhu, you were ranking 2 last year, and now you're at 11.
11.
So does that bother you?
I mean, it doesn't bother me because if you do everything right, and if you're 100% sure mentally and physically, as I said, I think if you do well and if you win, your ranking automatically comes up. So it's not that you have to focus only on the ranking and play a lot of tournaments and not win and just play for the sake of playing, that my ranking should come up. I think that doesn't really work like that. Rather, go into go with a mindset where you're 100% sure that yes, I am fit mentally and physically, and I can do my best. So yeah.
Sir, what do we expect of PV Sindhu now that she's under your tutelage and guidance in the Olympic year?
Well, I think Olympic or other, any other tournament.
No pressure.
Is very clear. Any tournament you play, whether it's a district level tournament, state level tournament, or the Olympics, you have to win. So there is no other. I mean, if you are not fit enough, don't play. So,
Don't
just
go
for the
in
sake of,
for
not
of
for the sake of.
participation.
Yeah, according to me, ranking is not the only thing. Ranking is very misguided because a lot of you can choose the right tournament. Use probably an IT expert and get into the top 10 without beating any of the top players. So it is possible. I'm not, the system is like that. So I'm not blaming anybody. But I think the more important thing for me would be to win the important tournaments. How many, like she's won 5 world championship titles. Could be bronze, it could be silver,
Whatever
2
she's a
Olympics. Yeah.
medalist,
So every tournament you play doesn't matter. So that is how we've been brought up. Like even it's a state level, college level tournament. Also, when you go, you have to win. So that should be your motto. So it's not just for Olympics. Any tournament she plays, I mean, if it's a team event, if it is your match, you have to win your match.
So it is the Olympic year. How have you planned out Sindhu's workload?
Well, I think we have that was the other thing I think which we have worked on earlier. I think she had entered, because she was, not sure of, whether she'll do well in the previous tournament. Like 5 or 6 tournaments in a row she had joined. She had already entered. So once we got in touch. So he said, you need to cut down, come here, take a little rest, find out what is wrong. So if you just keep playing, it doesn't help because you'll keep losing
And
the
it,
first round, and
yeah,
then you will get even worse. Because it's all about the mind.
mind.
So
Yes.
just take a break, do an analysis, the proper, coach, and see, find out what is wrong. So that's what we did, and I mean, not that we've solved the problem, but I think we are on the right track. It's only a few days since
She's come to you.
we've got training time, but otherwise, I think she's done quite well post the Asian Games when she played in the 4 tournaments. Unfortunately, she got injured. Otherwise, she would have played. In a way, it was good that we've got now 6 weeks time to train.
Work with her.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't think we would have got so much time.
And there were back-to-back tournaments
No,
also.
but,
Yeah. So we planned the tournaments in such a way that she's got 1 tournament in February, 3 tournaments in March, 1 in May.
and the rankings won't be affected because of the Olympic year.
But
Rankings, obviously, every Tuesday it's a normal thing where it changes, and
You're not the kind who's obsessed with looking at it.
no, I mean, see, Olympic ranking is a bit different because from each country there are only 2 players. So obviously, as I mentioned earlier, if we do well, automatically the ranking comes up. So our main focus is, what tournament to play and what not. Are we fit or are we not? Are we we are doing 100% mentally, physically or not? So that's all matters. And yeah,
No, automatically the ranking will go up. If you win tournaments, but I mean, ranking is important. I'm not saying that it's not important, but it should not be the only thing.
Mm.
Important thing is, you like somebody like a Victor Axelsen, who is so consistent. He has won most of the tournament, very consistent, very difficult to beat him. So from the present generation, he can be a good example. To try to be like him, Olympic gold, World Championship gold,
Everything.
maybe 6 out of 8 or 9, Super Series 1000 titles, and then world number one. So that
Yeah.
is what one should aim for,
But
and beat all the good players you've beaten. He's truly a world number one. There are a lot of other players, maybe in the top 10.
but he's been successful, the most successful.
yeah.
So that's what. So that should be the aim. That's the correct way of
So,
analyzing the ranking of a player.
so kind of, it's quite different from what you've been used to. How much of a change is it?
It's definitely a lot of change because, as Sir said earlier, that we have a new team now, and I'm very thankful to OGQ because, they've been obviously supporting me since I was 14 years and until now. So we all sat down, spoke. So I have a new fitness trainer, I have a new physio now, and then of course
Nutritionist.
Argus nutritionist, and a
Coach,
mental trainer,
mental
coach,
trainer.
mentor. So everything is a new team. Like everyone is new, and it feels really nice. New year, new team, new resolution. So
And so, things are very different from the days you played. This whole team business and all. How is it? How are you taking to it?
It's entirely different because my team, there was no team only. I didn't even have a coach. So I learned on my own. So it's a big change, but you have to adapt to change. You have to adapt to changes. These days, maybe even 10 years back, everybody had only a coach, a badminton coach. I don't think maybe 15 years back there was not even a trainer. So the badminton coach was a trainer, everything put together. But nowadays you can't. You might be the All England champion, you might be the world number one, but if you say that I alone will, take this, person
Manage
to,
it.
so it's not. I don't think it's the right thing because nobody will have. When you have professional help available, you have to make use of it, and you should be open to that and not be very rigid in your views. That this what I do is only the that's the only thing.
Right.
Because somebody who has trained to be a strength and conditioning trainer, he will have more knowledge. You can add. He's already got knowledge. So you tell him what you require for your particular game. For badminton, I need this. Then what he does, you leave it to him. Don't interfere.
Hmm.
Maybe 15 years back it worked because there was nobody else. Similarly, physio. How much load to take, how much to push.
But earlier, there was Gopi sir to kind of look at all these things and get the inputs from the relevant people. How different is it?
no, I mean actually back then also I had a different trainer and physio as well. But I think it's important to know what we want, and also science has come now, and we will know a lot more things which we didn't know. And
Also, I think that time it was probably it was general. Maybe other than the coach, she had a physio, she had a
Yeah.
When you
personal
say
trainer
we will know many things more than which we didn't know then, give me an example.
when it comes to strategy, like I am playing well, but those small tweaks, it's not obviously you will win the match, but also after winning the match, when you go and analyze it, there will be somewhere if you're beating her in 21-14, and those 2-3 points also matters a lot. So those small tweaks, if we find out, then there's a lot of difference.
What about some players like Alan, Marin and all? They'll come back from injury also, but seem to be doing extremely well.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody is doing their, everybody is keeping themselves fit and coming back.
For the Olympic,
Yeah, definitely. And you can't expect any easy matches or easy wins.
So that's why it's nobody. It's not nobody can take anything for granted. That she's definitely a contender for a gold, but yeah, for a medal, yes.
But you don't know.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. It depends on a lot of things.
Yes.
But we are trying to put a lot of focus on what we are doing. How we are preparing.
Yeah.
So making use of the best the
Process.
science available.
Yeah.
Sports science support. The tests were required. Make the changes were required. Planning, schedule. Make sure that she remains injury free. So whatever we know is, and then you just enjoy, go and play. and hopefully, the results will come. We are not keep, we
She's
don't
been
keep
around
thinking.
for so long. But what made you agree to take her on board?
No, what you should ask her.
What made her agree to come on board?
No. I think both were. I didn't want to
Yes.
interfere because she was doing well. Because most people think that my style of coaching or something is very old-fashioned. So I thought, if I ask her, she'll say, no, I don't want to. What you played in the 80s, you are playing like this. So now.
But I think it's definitely a one-time opportunity, and it's always, I mean, who would say no? Is my point.
Yeah, but he was always there. But
No, I mean, he was not always
I
there.
No, I didn't ask her. She didn't ask me. Maybe it
Yeah.
was. So this time I thought, when she was going through a very
Struggling,
bad patch, I read one of her interviews. She said, I'm mentally down. I don't know what to do. So I said, this is the time when I need to at least ask. Otherwise, you'll regret for the rest of your life.
पूछा नहीं.
I'm not young, so
Then
so
what?
at least at the
What
most
did
she'll
she
say
say?
no. She said no. Of course, I would like to.
Yeah.
I didn't even approach her directly. I didn't know so that well. She straight away says no, or she'll
Then
feel odd
you
to say
went
yes or
through-
no.
Then you went.
No, I
through-
asked OGQ. We
So-
didn't to speak to her because she's the OGQ. So but we didn't just find out if she needs my
needs
help
help.
in whatever way.
Yeah.
So she said, let me.
You
I
jumped
said,
at the
at least
opportunity.
one
Of
call.
course.
Let's speak on because she was playing 5 tournaments. She was outside.
But cutting the umbilical cord must have been tough to move from Hyderabad to Bangalore.
No, it was nothing like that.
From Gopi to
No. I mean, I think from Gopi, I've shifted in 2020 only, right? So after that, I was with Park, and later on, I had another
only
coach.
thing is that you were in Hyderabad. That's all.
Yeah, that is it.
And she
So-
tried. I think she went to England for some time. She went
Yes.
to Indonesia for some
Everybody
time.
tries. Sir
She
also tried.
Pardon?
Sir also tried. Everybody tries to do
Yeah,
different
yeah.
things.
So you have
It-
to
it
try. You have
worked
to
out.
try.
It worked out.
Because no results are not guaranteed. But like if things are going well, fine. Like no need to. But if not going well, you have to analyze, see what is wrong, and try to make changes. Again, those changes, when you make changes, not that results are guaranteed.
So
Sometimes it works, sometimes
It
doesn't.
doesn't
in
work.
terms of your routines, anything has changed drastically?
In terms of routine, obviously we are having the practice sessions and everything, but obviously we need to be much more smarter in what we do, because now since we have a good team, they manage everything on a day-to-day basis, and everything is there, data is there, so it's not like we've missed out something. So we have everything
You
right
can't
there.
complain about missing out on any.
No, I think the major difference between Hyderabad and here is, I think here everything is under one roof.
Yeah.
The entire ecosystem is there.
Yes.
Whereas in Hyderabad, even though she was staying at home, for gym she had to go somewhere else. For training she had to go somewhere else. The trainer
Everything
is
is
somewhere
here.
else. Here,
Yeah.
everybody is staying together.
Yes.
So whenever she's here,
That helps.
the coach is
Yeah,
there.
that
So
helps.
24,
In
of course
the
it helps. Because
traveling time is lesser.
recovery and
Recovery.
everything.
Yeah.
Normally you spend on recovery, you spend more time on the court, you spend more
And
time
as older
with
you get, there's more
Yeah,
time for
definitely.
recovery.
Yes. You need
So, sir, you've been contributing a lot to creating champions and future champions. Where do you see Indian badminton now and going forward?
Well, I think we are just going up and up. I mean, the results are there for everybody to see. I think everybody who's connected with the sport has contributed, right from the Federation, Badminton Association of India, to SAI, to TOPS, to Ministry, to players, to coaches, to a lot of private foundations who are supporting public sector undertakings who are employing sports people. So I think
The environment has changed too.
very drastically has changed for the good. Luckily for the good.
Okay.
Otherwise, a lot of the sports are in the news for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. But you're satisfied with the way badminton is going up.
Yes, it's going up. I think a lot more can be done. If we have a little more professional approach from the federation, a little more planning. No, I think they're already doing, but maybe this PBL can be one good thing which they can consider, because almost every sport has that will add to the popularity of the sport. More children will start playing, so it can be a long-term thing for
Growth.
developing Indian
Development plan.
badminton,
Yes.
and popularizing the sport.
So, you go home with a smile on your face.
Absolutely.
What about you?
Yes, of course.
You're always smiling, but
I'm happy here. Yes, everything is under one roof.
everything under control. Dad and mom are happy also.
Yes, yes, all are happy. So, I mean, obviously, when their kid is doing well and happy, obviously they will be happy.
So, is there any difference? Last question. Is there any difference between the way you approaching this Olympics to the one you approached? I mean, of course you're older, but still.
Yeah, I mean, there is going to be pressure and a lot of experience as well. But it's just one day at a time for me. I'm not going to think about how should I win the Olympics, but it's just one day at a time. I will do my best, whatever I can. And if things work out, they work out. And I will be there.
All the very best.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.